From Kern Government Television, welcome to this week's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting. Originating from the Kern County Administrative Center, located at 1115 Truxtun Avenue in Bakersfield, California. Grounded in ideas, energy, and innovation, Kern County's vision is to be a driving force for the world's fifth largest economy, and our mission is to exceed expectations of the communities we serve, changing the way they feel about government, those who manage it, and the services it provides. Today's Board of Supervisors meeting will convene momentarily.
Board to reconvene. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Supervisor Peters?
Here.
Supervisor Perlier?
Here.
Supervisor Flores?
Here.
Supervisor Couch?
Here.
Supervisor Perez? Here.
Okay, good afternoon and welcome to the Tuesday, April 28th, 2 p.m. meeting of the Kern County Board of Supervisors. We'll first hear from County Counsel Kendra Graham for a report on action taken in closed session.
Good afternoon. Your board met in closed session this morning following the AM agenda, and there were no reportable actions taken.
Thank you. We'll begin by considering the consent agenda. All items listed with a CA or C above the items are considered to be routine and non-controversial by county staff. Consent items will be considered first and may be approved by one motion. If a member of the public wishes to comment or ask questions regarding an item on the consent agenda, they may do so prior to a vote being taken. Members of the board may remove any item from the consent agenda, and it will be considered in listed sequence, with an opportunity for any member of the public to address the board concerning that item before action is taken. Members of the public may also comment on any closed session items. The consent agenda for the Board of Supervisors includes all items 5 through 8 on page 3, items 9, 10, and 12 on page 4, and item 12 has been revised to withdraw 12E, 2419 Reader Drive, Lake Isabella, for a new total fiscal impact of $280,307.89. The consent agenda also includes all items 3 through 52 on pages 5 through 11. Is there anyone in attendance that would like to speak on the consent agenda? Please come to the podium.
Hello, everyone. My name is Miguel Ayon. I'm here for the Lake Isabella. It's a 6106 Maple Avenue. Okay. Anyways, I'm having a big problem over there with squatters. I actually live in Shafter, California, and I'm having a big problem over there with squatters. I got pictures. I went up there and cleaned the place up. I cleaned it up, and they just, within a week, it's already packed with Dollar General carts, and it's just that you know we have a big problem with homeless people and all that. Well, right there, it's just a big problem. They took the fence down. I've actually showed up. They called the cops on me. I actually have, if you guys would like to look, I have pictures here of what's going on up there. They called the cops on me. There's a mobile home that's right there that they parked on the driveway, and they just live there. I was just actually up there right now, and you guys can see the pictures. It's just becoming, it's horrible. It's a nightmare with these people up there. And here's some pictures of today. And if you guys see, I also have a voicemail of one of the officers from up there, the code enforcement officer, where he said it was already, I just needed to get that mobile home removed. If you guys would like to listen to it, I don't know if you guys could allow me audio, just real quick.
What would probably be the best course of action, if you could? I think somebody likely is here from Public Works that might be able to talk with you and shed some more light from things on their end.
I'd like for you guys to hear what the audio says, where it says, Miguel Ayon, you cleaned up, it looks good. There's only a little bit of trash in the front. That's what the audio says. There's a little bit of trash there. Well, from the pictures that it shows afterwards, it shows that there's a bunch of trash in there. Well, actually, I got pictures right there as from today, from this morning, where there's squatters, they're still there. Nobody's ever, the police officers they didn't take the motorhome out. They waited for me, and the tow truck drivers never showed up to take out that motorhome. I'm just like, My hands are tied. What would you guys do?
Yeah, no, understood,
that
sir. And
situation.
and that's what I want to do is try and get you linked up with somebody from Public Works that can, like I said, shed some more light on the information. Maybe there's something that we can do as far as coordinating with law enforcement to address that or something. But if you would have a seat, I'll see if we can get an answer for you.
Supervisor Peters.
Sure.
Excuse me, Chair Peters, and I've spoken with Mr. Ayllón, who I know and trust and believe his representations. I'm not sure what has been communicated with the county, or lots of things get lost in translation, but this seems to me to be very problematic to proceed and impose this on somebody where it's clear the squatters are causing this damage. And also, which is consistent with Mr. Ayllón's reputation, what I know about him. Can we pull this matter and have it continue to another time? I mean, as it relates to the rest of the consent agenda, I really want to see this matter be resolved in a fair and just way.
Yeah, please, I would just like to hear real quick from Public Works.
Okay, got it.
Thank
Another
you.
thing I'd like to
Okay,
mention.
sir, if you could, we want to get to you, we want to hear, but we just want to make sure that the meeting progresses. We
For
hold
sure,
everybody at
for
the
sure,
same
for
time
sure.
limit.
I just had one last thing I wanted to.
Okay, briefly.
Because in the state of California states that these guys are not even, they're just like tenants already. And the state of California states that they should have gave those guys, I can't get them out of there, they should be the ones paying for.
Yes, sir.
For the stuff on that property.
I understand. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, if you could just have a seat, we're going to have Public Works come up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chairman Peters, members of the board, Joshua Champlin, Public Works Director. It is frustrating. We deal with this a lot where we have people on properties that are creating a nuisance. From our side of the fence, we're looking at it as a property issue, and the people who we were able to enforce against are property owners. My recommendation today, after hearing this, is that that we also, I would agree that we can continue this item, or that we could refer this, remove this item from the listing of properties today with a new, I can give you a new total for that to read into the record. I think that would be the best course. We can continue to work with Mr. Ayllón to see if there's a mutually beneficial solution here.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So, just looking for the item.
Here, I think I got it right here. That would be
574.
574, 7.77. Okay, so we're going to pull this item off the consent agenda as well. Thank you. Withdraw staff's recommendation, and that'll give us a new total for item 12 of $274,560.12.
I believe it's, did you subtract that from the new total that you just gave?
Yes, the
Okay.
283.0789 minus 5747.77.
Okay,
Perfect.
thank you.
Thank you.
Can I just say to Josh, thank you, Josh, for that. Thank you for your flexibility, and for, I'm sure Mr. Ayllón appreciates being able to resolve this matter in a way that's fair. So best of luck to you.
Thank you. Okay, any other members of the public have an item under consent agenda that they would like to speak on? Okay. If you'd like, ma'am, is there any way we could bring up a microphone, maybe? Thank you.
If you want to speak from here, you're fine. Okay.
Be here. Can I speak upon item number? Code 5.
Item on the agenda.
Yeah. name's Lisa Gill Wilson Powell, and I own property at 25414 Barber Street in Arvin. And I don't think that I was rightfully investigated or whatever, because my vehicle has a non-op on it. It was parked in my driveway and they still towed it away. And they took items that weren't trash or garbage or anything, and then they said they took my patio furniture and my took 3 cars away, and they took other items that weren't trash and stuff, and they said they didn't get any money for anything. They took all my aluminum cans that were in garbage cans, and they took a lot of scrap metal my son had out back, and fence panels, bathtub. It was hooked to my house and to my dog brushing station. It was hooked to the back of the house. It was even plumbed into the sewer system. And they ripped it off the house.
Mr. Chairman?
I was gonna say, I'm not sure whose district this is in, but maybe we could have somebody from Public Works that's familiar with this come down, if that's all right.
Well, I heard her say Arvin. I'm assuming that it would be, is it item W? Is that correct?
Yes.
But like Mr. Champlin,
I didn't
if
get
he's
notice.
available to come on down as
I
well.
didn't see any notices because I'm not staying at the house. I'm in the acute care center.
I don't know if, Josh, can I ask you a question about this one?
I'm sorry, ma'am, just 1 second. We're gonna see if we can get you an answer, and if you still need to share anything, we'll get to you.
I don't know that we want to do the same thing that we just did, but do you want to continue this item so you have time to, or you or your department has time to speak with her?
Typically, it's been our approach to do what we did with Mr. Ione, is to try to find that common ground. So it's up to your board. This is an abatement for trash, junk, and debris. Just, for clarity, we don't seek out these violations.
I understand.
We respond to reporting parties.
Right.
And we do the appropriate thing to protect surrounding homeowners and their property rights. And so that was the role here. But I will welcome, if that's your choice, we can remove this as well and spend some time
That was
working
really
with her.
more my question is, do you want it removed or do you want it continued?
I think a better route is to remove them. We
Okay.
can bring them back at any point in time if resolution can't be found between us and the property
you.
owner. So it would be to remove item W as well for a new total.
Understood, thank you. Okay, are there any other members of the public that would like to comment on a closed session item? Okay, if there's a CA listed by the item, it is, so if you want to come up?
A nuisance abatement?
Probably so, yeah, if you want to come to the microphone. Could we just get your name and then,
My name is Danielle Milton.
Thank you.
This is about a lot that I purchased in Tehachapi, Mountain Meadows. I purchased my land and put my container and my fifth wheel on my property, and the next day, I was contacted by code enforcement officer telling me that I was a nuisance on my own property. I had spent every dime I had on purchasing my land. There was nothing I could do at the time to remove this stuff that was on my property, but I did come down to the code enforcement office and asked the gentleman sitting there at the desk if I could get an extension. And I had my paperwork in my hand. He looked at me and said, extension denied. That simple. That's all he had to say about it. 5.5 months later, I was out of town working for 5 months so that I could put a well on my land. And one of the subcontractors for Kern County, the guy that comes and cleans up, makes bids on the property, came by and told me that there's gonna be guys in white trucks driving by for the next 2 days, and they're putting bids on taking my stuff off my land. and he didn't know why they were messing with me, because my land is clean, beautiful, and I have lots of trees and grapes and flowering bushes and planted on my property, and there's nothing for Kern County to take except my fifth wheel, which was my home. I had a Rubbermaid shed and a shipping container. I managed to get the shipping container, move off my property when somebody had written me a bad check and left me overdrawn in my bank, so I was unable to move my fifth wheel. Your officer showed up, put a couple chunks of wood into a dump trailer, a cinder block, and proceeded to take the power cord to my fifth wheel, and I tried to get it back in my brand new Rubbermaid trash can. That's when he proceeded to tell me that if I was a man, he'd punch me in the face, and that he took out of the bed of my pickup truck my generator, my $500 lawnmower, my heater buddy, my propane tank, and just stuff that I needed, and proceeded to take it out of my pickup and put it in the dump trailer because there was no money for them to make, because my property was clean. The gentleman that called on me.
Ma'am, we have a 2-minute
Oh, I'm
period
sorry.
in this, it's okay.
Can I just state one more fact, please?
Sure,
The
if you
gentleman that
could.
called on me does not even live in Kern County. It was retaliation for me being friends with his ex-girlfriend. And his mother worked at the recorder's office for 23 years, and I believe that they contacted one of her buddies at code enforcement to mess with me.
Okay, well.
And I would also like to let you guys see, everybody in my neighborhood, I'm wondering if their garbage is I have a whole photo album of my neighbors.
Mr.
I
Chair?
understand, ma'am. Yeah, we can't keep going over the limit right now, but
Okay,
as
sorry.
this is in, I just wanted to get some clarification real quick. We have 2 items from Tehachapi that are on this. Is this off Landry Way or off Trotter
Exactly.
Avenue?
It's Landry.
Landry Way, okay. Supervisor Parlia?
Thank you. Since this is my district, I'll field this one. Josh, one more time, please.
I don't have $4,000 to pay in the next 10 days. It's just not possible for me. So I don't know if we could work something out, or if we could.
Okay, if you'd like to have a seat, we're gonna see if we can get some
I'm
answers.
sorry, thank you.
I just want to check with the department and basically do the same thing. I think, Josh, allow a little opportunity and time to be able to talk to this young lady about the matter. So we're going to continue or pull it?
Supervisor Parley, I would recommend the same action is to remove the item. But I would like to spend some time talking to her about about this individual as she has spoken of outside of this open session, and find out, because our contractors are expected to behave in a certain way, and they're an extension of us in a way. So if that happened, we need to get to the bottom of that.
Understood. I thank you, Josh.
Thank you. Any other members of the public that would like to comment on a consent agenda item? Okay. Seeing none, I'm going to bring it back to the board and reflect that the consent agenda item number 12 now does not include items E, I, S, and W for a revised total of $262,363.72. Are there any questions or comments from the board?
Consider to be no math.
Motion on consent with those exceptions.
Thank you. I'd like, before we go to a vote, I did want to ask our CAO a question on item 29. I've noticed this in the change orders with regard to our new Kern 360 implementation. They're pretty significant compared to what we normally would see for change orders. It's almost double the project price, and I would like to get some clarification on why we're seeing that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for those questions. It is a significant project, so I do have our project manager and Assistant CAO Elsa Martinez here to go a little bit into detail, but we'd like to kind of elaborate on the HCM component specifically. As you may recall, we went live with the financial system component. This is the payroll and HR component that is incredibly important to get accurate. So I would like them to come up and give some points on the reasoning for the change.
That would be great. Thank you.
Hi, Chairman and Supervisors. I'm Caitlin Zinger. I'm the project manager for this total Kern 360 implementation. To quickly remind your board, we are actually already live with phase 1, which was the financials implementation. So that's things like accounts receivable, accounts payable, et cetera. And if you're looking at the board letter that's in front of your board today, that phase 1 was also part of this original agreement cost that you see. We are now in phase 2, which includes all of human capital management. That's things like payroll, health benefits, and then just basic employee transactional things. A comment you made, Chair, about the amendments being double the original agreement. I'd like to clarify that the amendments are about half of the original agreement, but since we started this project, we've actually added functionality into the original scope. We identified a need for an additional health benefits system, which is going to be a plug-in for Kern 360, and that is part of this cost when you look at the amendment cost. This proposed amendment in front of you today for 1.3, it is a deliberate decision to extend the timeline to ensure that we mitigate risk, especially when we consider that what we're going live with next is payroll. Not extending this timeline is going to, sorry, let me look at my note. Proceeding without the extension would require compressing critical testing and readiness activities, and this introduces risk in areas like payroll accuracy, financial reporting, and system performance, and those areas directly impact our employees and our county operations. And this particular extension is driven by where we are in the project life cycle, which is advanced configuration and end-to-end testing, where issues have surfaced that have to be resolved. We have some pretty complex payroll processing. When you think about firefighter schedules and their 56-hour pay cycles, those are things that we have to give additional attention to make sure we get it right on day one. And so this decision to extend is simply just risk mitigation strategy to ensure we deliver a stable and fully functional system. Did that answer your full question, sir, or would you like me to continue?
I think that answers all the questions I'm prepared for now. I just, when you look at the original agreement, it's for basically $7.5 million, and the revised agreement after amendments is $13.5 million. That was concerning, and I would expect people will have some questions about that, but I think that's all I have for now, unless the board has any other questions or comments. Okay, not seeing any. Thanks, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, that being said, we have a second, motion and a second on consent. Go ahead and cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
We are now sitting as the Kern Sanitation Authority, and we'll consider item C1. Is there anyone in attendance that would like to speak regarding this consent item? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the board for a motion or discussion.
Motion. Second.
Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Okay, we are now sitting as the Ford City Taft Heights Sanitation District, and we'll consider item C2. Is there anyone that would like to speak on this item? Okay, seeing none, I'll bring it back to the board for, bring it back to the board for discussion or a motion.
Motion. Second.
Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Thank you. So we're now sitting as the Kern County Board of Supervisors, and we'll consider item number 3, which is public presentations. This portion of the meeting is reserved for persons to address the board on any matter not on this agenda, but under the jurisdiction of the board. Board members may respond briefly to statements made or questions posed. They may ask questions for clarification, make referral to staff for factual information, or request staff to report back to the board at a later meeting. Also, the board may take action to direct the staff to place a matter of business on a future agenda. Speakers are limited to 2 minutes. Please state and spell your name before making your presentation.
David Abbasi, Davidabbasi. Today is a great day because I have waited 7 years for this reckoning. I exposed a cannabis monopoly back then, and now I'm going to expose a medical monopoly. And you are all participants of a racketeering enterprise. I have the paperwork, the paper trails, to prove it. So, members of the board, I'm here today on behalf of the taxpayers to publicly enter a warning and legal notice into the official record. What has been operating in this chamber is not governance. It is a federally prosecutable racketeering enterprise. For years, you have run a pay-to-play shadow structure, but today, we have the exact paper trail. We know how Centric Health, Good Samaritan, and BRS networks, including BBH, Perez, you guys accepted illicit campaign funds through non-medical real estate shells like Universal Hospital, Property LLC, and Walia Hotel Investments, using coordinated check stacking to bypass campaign finance law. You take this laundered money, intentionally violating the Levine Act and the strict conflict of interest limits of Government Code, Section 87100. Then you sit on the dais and you cast unanimous log-rolling votes, handing tens of millions of taxpayer dollars in unbid contracts right back to the exact hospital executives funding your political survival. That is a direct violation of the divided loyalty standard under Government Code 1090, and these contracts are legally void. And when whistleblowers like this, whether it's civilians like myself or Chris Messick, former BPD officer, you weaponize the justice system to destroy them. We have documented Hobbs Act extortion attempts. We see the retaliatory restraining orders rubber stamped by Judge Zulfa. We see Youngblood's protection rackets and DA Zimmer's shielding of the cartel members and aggressively prosecuting political opponents. You pulled the cartel enrichment item from your April 14th agenda because you know you've been caught. And we have a highly detailed federal complaint with every dollar tracked to a corrupt contract vote, and it was delivered to the United States Attorney's Office, the FBI,
10 seconds over your time. If you could please bring your comments to a close.
Your public deception ends now. You are officially on notice. You guys should all officially resign, effective immediately, and prepare for the consequences, the legal consequences. This is not an administrative deal.
Thank you.
This is criminal, and I've got the goods now.
Next speaker, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Christina Rollins, CHRISTINA, RAWLINS. Good afternoon. I'm here today to respectfully ask the board to consider targeted funding for the Sheriff's Narcotics Division to address the growing presence of Kratom products in local smoke shops and gas stations. From a policy standpoint, this is a regulatory gap. Kratom exists in a gray area. While it is not uniformly prohibited, agencies like the California Department of Public Health have issued warnings about its risks, especially regarding highly concentrating compounds like 7-hydroxymitragynine. Meanwhile, enforcement at the local level remains limited, leaving our community without consistent oversight or accountability. But this issue is also personal. I've seen firsthand how these products can impact individuals and families. What's being sold as natural substances can have very real consequences, and it's often easily accessible in places people don't associate with serious risk. That disconnect is concerning. This is why targeted funding matters. It would give the Sheriff's Department the ability to conduct compliance checks, coordinate with state agencies, and respond in a way that is proactive, not just reactive. It's about aligning local enforcement with existing public health guidance and closing a gap that currently exists. I'm asking you to consider both the policy implications and the real-life impact that it's having in our community, and to support additional resources to address it. I would also be willing to speak further about my experience privately at a later date if that would be helpful. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. And this has actually been brought up before, and I want to say that we referred this back to staff, and I don't remember what action was taken then. I think we also supported a bill at the state level regarding this, but I would have to get that exact information back to you unless council has an answer right now.
Yes, we have an ordinance on our files already that's a synthetic drug ordinance, and that synthetic drug ordinance does cover kratom. We've worked with our public health department, and Bryn Kerrigan has confirmed that they do inspections for kratom. And I believe they operate through pulling licenses for shops that are selling kratom. Some of it is may be preempted by state law, but our licensing component is not, and I know Bryn operates through that. So it is something that we are watching, and Bryn has confirmed, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, I didn't know this was gonna come up, but Bryn is actively enforcing the kratom and
Supervisor.
removing it.
Yeah,
I've been
so,
in contact with her too.
okay, yeah, I was gonna say, if you'd like to reach out to one of our offices, we could get you some more information on what's been done so far, and then I would also encourage you to reach out to state level.
Yes,
And,
I have reached out to, I've gone to city council meetings, and I have also spoken with Officer Coleman as well.
And Supervisor Flores, I believe, had some input.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, County Council, and thank you, Ms. Rollins, for coming, because this is a emerging health issue for our community. There's so many synthetics and there's so many organics that are new and evolving. And so in our research with County Council, it turns out that we were going to enact a kratom ordinance, but we are covered by a prior ordinance from years ago that will cover this one and new ones as they come. And so Public Health has just sent out a number of letters to all of the retail establishments that sell this. They're put on notice, and now they're going to do frequent inspections, and anyone caught will be cited with a $1,000 fine, and then the second time they're caught, they'll lose their entire license. And so physicians have stepped forward. It is a problem. They're seeing the health risks, and so I want you to know that Kern County is taking it seriously, and we will crack down. And we've also funded a task force with the Sheriff's Office, and so these combined efforts will help. And so thank you, as a member of the public, bringing this before the board.
Thank you. Any other members of the public that would like to comment? Please come down to the podium if you'd like to provide comment.
Good morning. My name's Karen Bussard, K-A-R-E-N-B-U-S-S-A-R-D, and I'm a 20-year county employee. I wanted to talk to you today about contracting out services. I would like to know how much money is going out and how much money has been lost with those contracts that have been canceled because of issues. And then contracting out, some people have gone without services. However, these services that you're contracting out are available through your own employees already. And so you could have contacted those employees and submitted those services to those individuals that needed them. There is a remote work policy. I believe it's Exhibit K or J in the county policy manual, and it is a privilege. Not everyone can do it, but it affects traffic, smog. It helps you guys, it helps us, it helps the public. But right now, because of the cost of gas, it would help your employees be able to save some money coming to work. It also bring down workers' comp costs because you can't really file a workers' comp claim against yourself. So, and being at home, you probably won't get hurt. And then one other issue, and I know I've talked about it, and I know you guys don't have the budget for it, but employees are an ongoing cost. Having veteran employees, having employees who have made this a career is essential to keep us because we are very knowledgeable, and we would like to pass on that knowledge to new employees. However, new employees are not staying. It takes 2 years to know your job and do it well. You can know your job within 6 months, but are you doing it well? And what we provide is services that we want to do well, and we want our new employees to do it well. However, we can't keep the new employees. So our knowledge is gonna leave with us, and I don't wanna leave, to do that too. So, sorry, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any other members of the public that would like to make comments at this time? Okay, seeing none, we're going to end public comment. And we are going to go now to board member announcements or reports. Is there anything from the board? I would like to ask county council, I hate to even give attention to such crazy stuff, but when somebody comes up here making accusations, that really just irritates me. Is there any way that, I don't know the best way to address that, but that the county has some type of mechanism for looking into, you know, what allegations are made and ensuring that everything's been done ethically compliant, above board, and independently auditing or reviewing those decisions that were referenced?
You can certainly refer it to staff to and look into those allegations. We can do that at your board's request. We probably will do that anyway, just be, you know, if he's going to file a lawsuit. He had a threat of litigation, so it's not something we should discuss in public forum, but it's something that we will definitely look into. And I believe he may have already filed something. I saw something come through.
Okay. Well, I would like to make that referral and just, I mean, I know that we're independent, but I just want to make sure it's as independent, verified, and audited, whatever it needs to be to ensure transparency. I think that type of rhetoric is dangerous, especially in this day and age, and it's extremely irresponsible. And I think that just having the full transparency and truth out there is a benefit for everybody, not least of which the trust in the public in this institution.
Understood. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll make a motion to make that official referral to staff. Thank you. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Okay, our final item is number 11. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I almost skipped over. Oh, yeah, no, that's right. Sorry. I'm looking at the wrong agenda. It's item number 11, a public hearing on proposed increase in assessments within CSA 4.
Mr. Chairman, I have to walk out the door in just a couple of minutes to go to a case Sarah meeting, so.
Understood.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chairman Peters, members of the board, Joshua Champlin, Public Works Director. Joining me today is Adrian Nava, Assistant Director of Public Works, and he will be making this presentation.
Good afternoon, members of the board. The item before you today is a proposed rate increase for County Service Area Number 4 for streetlight services. We'll go over the Prop 218 process, the background, and why the need for this increase. So CSA 4 is an unincorporated community made up of 204 parcels. It is located in the northwest Bakersfield area near Norris Road and Fruitvale Avenue. These parcels are receiving streetlight services funded through an assessment collected annually through their property tax roll. And it's currently being set at $28 per year per parcel. There are 40 streetlights currently in operation throughout the community. And however, over the last decade, PG&E costs have increased, and unfortunately, the current revenue that we collect now is no longer adequate to cover these expenses. So an increase in this assessment is necessary to maintain the current level of service. So the Prop 218 rate increase is being conducted in accordance with the requirements of the California Constitution. This process does not involve written protests from property owners. Instead, it requires submission of ballots. Public Works mailed 204 ballots to affected property owners at least 45 days ahead of the public hearing. Each ballot includes details about the proposed flat fee for streetlight services, instructions on how to vote, and the method on which the ballots may be returned, either by mail or in person by today's hearing. For the rate increase to be approved, more than 50% plus one of the submitted ballots must be marked yes. A simple majority of the ballots received determines the outcome. In addition to mailing the ballots, staff conducted in-person outreach, going door to door throughout the neighborhood to explain the process, answer questions, and provide information on the proposed increase. Staff also conducted a public information meeting and no members from the public attended that meeting. This map shows the current boundaries of CSA 4. As you can see, it's located in the northwest Bakersfield area on the intersection of Norris and Fruitvale Avenue. The area highlighted in blue represents the 204 parcels within the CSA, and the entire CSA is within District 1. In the previous 3 years, CSA has had a revenue of $6,120. However, total expenses over the last 3 years have exceeded our revenue, with about 95% of those expenses just going straight to PG&E. Currently, each parcel is being assessed $30 per year. Per the engineer's report, the proposed new rate is $48 per year per parcel, an increase of just $18 annually. This small adjustment will allow CSA 4 to keep up with rising energy costs and continue providing reliable streetlight services throughout the neighborhood. That concludes my presentation. At this time, it will be appropriate to open the public hearing.
Thank you, Mr. Nava. This is the time and place for the public hearing to tabulate the ballots considering an increase in assessment for CSA number 4 for fiscal year 2026-2027. Before I open the hearing for public comment, are there any comments or questions from the board to staff? Okay, seeing none, I will now open the public hearing and ask if there are any public comments. If anyone in the audience has any ballots, now is the time to deliver them to the clerk of the board. Madam Clerk, have you received any ballots that need to be considered?
No.
Okay. All right, seeing no further public comment, we can now close the public hearing and return to staff.
Out of the 204 ballots mailed out, the department received a total of 51 ballots, 30 in favor and 21 were opposed. So a majority of the ballots were returned in favor of the increase. Therefore, it is staff's recommendation that your board confirm the majority of the ballots submitted are in favor of the increased assessment with an adjustment formula, waive the reading, and enact ordinance imposing the proposed increased assessment.
Okay, that being said, I will bring it back to the board and ask if there's a motion on staff's recommendation. Well, since that's, okay, thank you. So I'll make a second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, thank you for that. Having no additional items to consider, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn to Tuesday, May 12th at 9 a.m. Without objection, we are adjourned.